What is going on, All-Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you know the drill. It does not matter what you drive. This is your All-Terrain Nation. It's Bronco night, and I'm very, very excited because you guys requested this family. Like, the most requests that I've had emails, I've had text messages going, hey, I want to know about this family. So, as old Mitchell Bowman would say, without further ado, let's bring on the Pickens family. What is going on, guys?
Hey, thanks for having us.
Of course. And I'm checking the stream. We've had so much problems tonight, guys. Please, if you can hear us, please let us know because it's been a computer headache tonight. But welcome from Middle Tennessee to, I guess, Florida. You guys are in Tampa, correct? Somewhere in that area?
Yes, in the Tampa area.
Yep.
Well, my brother used to live in Tampa, and he seemed to love it there. So
we love it here too.
Florida.
We lived here almost 8 years, and we're not going back to the Midwest. Sorry.
So, I heard Midwest. Where in the Midwest are you guys from?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh man, I'm from Ohio, so my Cincinnati Reds and your baseball team do not get along a lot of times.
No.
It seems like there for a while, if there was a fight in baseball, it was going to be between those two teams. But so tonight, guys, bring your questions or comments for this awesome family because they do more adventuring, it seems like, in a few weeks on YouTube than I get to do in like a few years on YouTube. So I am very, very excited. And so let's jump in.
Nice.
Oh,
be nice.
Oh no! I'll
be nice to your questions, everybody. No,
it's okay.
So first off, what got you guys into YouTube? Because I see you're heavily Bronco, but you're not just Bronco. You guys just seem to like want to show the whole family adventures. What got you into this?
So originally, COVID hit, and we were bored. So Matt always wanted to buy a car and restore it with the kids. So it was kind of his idea initially. And then he went on Copart when COVID was going on. And, the parts for even totaled cars and just was so expensive. So we kind of put that plan on the back burner, and we ended up going to Moab, Utah in October. And we never camped a day in our life, never did anything like that. And when we showed up there, if you've ever been, everyone is just boondocking on the side of the road, and there's camping and just off-roading. It's really just a gorgeous place. And I told Matt, I'm like, I want to do that. I want to camp. and sure enough, go ahead.
Did y'all just drive? I mean, you just drove out there or had a camper or what was the...
No, we flew in, and then when we got back from Moab back home, the next day we went and bought a camper.
Nice.
So we actually bought a pop-up camper because we knew it would fit in the garage, and I actually had the Bronco in order. We ordered it, at 10 p.m. on reservation night. So I'm like, oh yeah, we'll be able to tow this with Bronco, no problem. Through the forums, I learned I was an idiot, and we actually, my F-150 wouldn't even really tow it as good as we wanted it to. So,
right,
it's just for him to get a new truck, yada yada yada. But so that kind of started our plan of okay, in 2021, we're going to set a goal to travel 10,000 miles in our camper and see as many states as possible. And that's kind of how Pickens Party of Five was born.
So was there any video experience? Because video is not, most people think, oh, you just grab your cell phone and it just happens. Like there's editing and then there's posting to YouTube, and the algorithm of YouTube is a nightmare for one. But was there, who was the person that was like, I'll take this on?
Well, I kind of have control issues. But also Matt, believe it or not, Matt actually has a real job, and he works many, many, many hours. So that kind of puts it all on me. I've been a stay-at-home mom since I've had kids, and we homeschool our children. So I do have a job, but not like a physical paying job.
Right.
So I kind of brought the YouTube thing on as, my hobby. And I have no video experience. I have a little bit of radio broadcasting experience. I went to college for that for a little bit. But I just learned as I went, and I figured people are either going to like us for us, because I'm not doing anything fancy. And we kind of went into it not expecting to get a lot of followers, not expecting to get attention. We did it to basically document our travels as a family. So if anything, when the kids are older, they have something to look back on.
Oh boy, and the
Yeah.
kids look back on when they're older and might be like, "Oh, mom, and what were they thinking?"
When things are more, back when I was a kid, we barely wore seatbelts, and now
Right.
all the safety things, and we got the kids bouncing in the back of the Bronco. Pretty soon they'll probably need helmets on and neck braces. And what were my mom and dad thinking?
Right. Well, so with Moab, what brought you like Moab is like the off-road mecca. You guys have now seen Moab, so you kind of have a better understanding, I'm sure. But what did you just throw a dart and Moab was the first place that popped up?
Well, there's actually two reasons why we chose Moab. Number one, I was watching a TV show and the family visited Moab, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at the pretty orange and red rock. I want to go there. And then shortly after that, one of Matt's best friends took a trip to Moab and shared pictures with us and videos and just, his thoughts about it. And we're pretty an adventurous family. We did travel a lot. We did a lot of cruising and a lot of international travel. And obviously with COVID, that stopped.
Right.
And Matt just called me up and said, hey, you want to go to Moab? I'm like, sure, sounds good to me.
Well, that it's strange to me because you're way in Florida and Moab is just so far away, and to drive, I think you guys have drove there now, right?
Yes, we've driven all the way to Kanab, Utah, which isn't too far from Moab.
Right, but that's still for you guys, what, 28 hours or more? Maybe 30?
Almost 40 hours, I think, one day.
Yeah, I think Google says about 34 hours, and it took about 40. We broke it up into different nights. We boondocked at Cracker Barrel and all over the place out west on the way. It was fabulous. The kids did really good in the truck, and no fighting. We also had our two dogs in the truck with us, but it was great.
And it was our first big camping trip. I mean, we only did a week in Texas, just 2 months before that. So we bought our new camper after trading in our pop-up, which was a disaster. I think we used our pop-up maybe once or twice, but we went to visit Matt's cousin in Texas for a week in our camper. We pulled it off the dealer's lot and went there. And then after that, we went to Moab. So we went into all of this very green, not knowing what in the world we're doing. And then Matt had a fantastic idea when we went to Moab. This was before we had our camper. When we went to Moab, do you want to know one of our first off-roading experiences was?
Sure. This is just between us, by the way. Nobody's listening. Nobody's paying attention. So
it was in a rental Chevy,
Tahoe.
And we did Schaefer's Trail in Canyonlands area. So,
well, nice, because my buddy DeGroot X is in the chat, and he did, I forget how many trails he did in a rental F-150 out there. Like, poor thing didn't have a chance, but.
Yeah, going down Schaefer's Trail, it's not technical at all, but it's just a switchback down a few thousand feet. But the whole time you're like in rental, like, man, I hope the brakes aren't faded. I hope the brakes aren't warped. I hope the brakes have enough fluid. It's not your car. You don't know.
Right.
And the whole time going down that hill, you're just like, okay, please, I hope it holds together.
And I'm pretty sure we signed a waiver saying we weren't going to take it off road.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I didn't.
I'm guessing a lot of people in the Moab area signed those waivers that have no intention of honoring those waivers.
Well, we turned it in condition. We got it in, so it's all good.
Well, good.
So and then the second trip out to Moab, I have to admit that when we first arrived, actually we were grand staircase. We pulled in, first visitor area. We dropped the trailer and we went on the great, what was it called, Smoky Mountain Trail, with all the bikes, propane tanks, all that stuff in the back of the truck, and just thrash around in the Super Duty. We have the video on that online, and probably wasn't as dramatic as it looks on the video, but in real life, it was a little stressful. Like, what are we doing?
Right. Well, some things never translate. Some things just never translate, like the seriousness of it. Like, I was watching the video where you guys had a flat out in Moab on your bicycle, and I was like, honestly, I would have been kind of freaking out at that moment going, oh my God, now I got to drag this bike back. And luckily y'all were smart enough to be prepared, which I probably wouldn't have been. So
sort of, he had to put the tubes in his backpack. He left them in the trunk, which was a couple miles away.
Yeah, a few mile ride. And the video also didn't show that we were on a cliffside, probably 150 feet off the ground, with the kids just hanging out. Probably not the safest place.
Right.
Do things, apparently.
Well,
Yeah.
well, so like everybody else, I mean, you guys you're deep into COVID. We're all stuck to our TVs or our tablets or whatever. And Ford drops that Bronco. Before they dropped it, was the Bronco on your list, or did you see that video and was like, I have to have that vehicle?
It has been on Matt's list for as long as I can remember. This guy drives me crazy with the vehicles. Insane. He about fainted when I actually agreed to finally, hey, let's get this.
Yeah, so I've
awesome.
been following it since I think 2004 when that silver one showed up. So yeah, since then I've been eager to get my hands on one.
Yeah, I think you and clearly half of America, because they took so many reservations that night. But I think for me, when I was a day 3 reservation, because I told y'all offline, I was pretty hardcore Nissan guy, and I kind of walked back and forth like, am I really thinking about buying a Bronco? And it's nothing like I've owned Ford products and I've owned them all, but I was like, man, I feel dirty, kind of like I shouldn't want this vehicle as much as I do. And finally, my studio is up above. It's a bonus area. Like most people have these nice little bonus areas. And I walked down and I grabbed my wallet, and my wife was like, what are you doing? And she goes, what are you buying? And I was like, nothing. I'm just, putting a Bronco on a reservation. And I talked to her previously about it, so it wasn't a complete surprise. But I remember I had no idea really what I was reserving. Like, the video was so awesome and made you want to put $100 down, but yet you didn't know what you were reserving. Did you guys have that same kind of problem, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Matt does not show excitement, emotion very often. He's very down to earth and just kind of calm, cool, and collected. And that whole day, I remember we were out shopping or something, and he's like, we got to get home by this certain time because the YouTube reveal of Bronco. Okay. And we get there and, we watch it. And I'm like, well, are you going to reserve it? He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, it's $100. So thanks to me, he made the reservation, because he wasn't even going to make the reservation because he felt guilty. So
Yeah.
you're welcome, right?
And I mean, the video was exciting, but it didn't show any detail. And then you go on the website, and there's the different versions of the Bronco, and it's like, okay, well, I got to decide which one I want really quick.
Yeah.
Trying to get first edition because that's going to be first edition whatever, and that was all gone by the time I got in there. But settled on a Badlands. I don't even think the price was really on there necessarily.
No, that didn't come until later.
So you're just kind of guessing. I had 3 devices going, refreshing all 3 at the same time. Kept getting to the payments screen, and it wouldn't accept my payment, or I thought it wasn't, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna end up with 12 of these things.
Right.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
So we ended up with one.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. So was it the 4-door? I mean, obviously, it has to be with your family. It had to be the 4-door that y'all were going for, right?
Yes.
So I see your kids there. Do you guys love the Bronco?
I love it.
Yes, I love it.
What's the best
Yeah,
part?
it's
What is the
the-
best part of the Bronco so far?
The doors off.
Taking the door off.
Yeah.
The danger.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. The danger part.
He's in the right family, right?
Right. And I love y'all's videos for how much you include your family with it, and like the showing your kids playing in the mud to get those husky mats dirty. That was great.
It's hard.
And honestly,
It's
some of
hard.
y'all's videos, you kill me, because I'm like, that's such a simple, awesome idea that I could have done that and just didn't even think about it, man. You guys, and your mall crawling today was amazing. That's one of the best. That was one of the best things I've seen of any Bronco YouTube channel doing, was that whole mall. And Jeep guy has to be like, man, what are you guys making fun of me for? Like the guys on 37s that never leave. That was
right.
a great.
Well, we went into that when we first started to get discovered in the Bronco world with YouTube.
Mhm.
We had plenty of haters,
Oh, yeah.
plenty of naysayers. And you're a mall crawler, you're a dumb woman, blah, 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 blah. So I felt like, we really need to do a mall crawling episode, because I have to fulfill,
Right.
what they had to say. 'Cause obviously I proved them wrong. I think I have done more with my Bronco than probably most of those haters would ever do.
Right.
But we try not to let the negative Nancy's get to us, and we're just doing our thing. We're not doing this to please people. We're doing this to invest in our family, to show other people that if you still have younger kids in the house, invest in your family because they're going to be the future. And that's really what's most important in life. So
Right.
obviously we are going to include our family because, I mean, that's just what we've always done. We've never really not included them. So this
Right.
is just really a look into our life. And we hope that maybe more people would take the time and, talk to their kids and spend time with their spouse and have a little bit of fun because it does the heart good.
Right. And it's crazy to think that a little automobile might bring so much closeness and joy to your family, and like you would never think that.
Never, but it's been really, really fun. I just think it's the newness of it all and the excitement. And I mean, I got rid of a van. So I think pretty much anything is going to be better than Mom's minivan.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, that is true. Well, you've got the ultimate mom's minivan now, right?
Yeah. Mom.
And as a kid, I remember every drive on my dad's rusty CJ7.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember any of the drives on my mom's car. So, it's all about those memories.
Right. So you throw the money down for it, and like everybody else, you're itching for any kind of news. Ford was really, in 2020, they were really like, we're not going to give you too much. And then we all thought, oh man, the building price is coming, then they'd pull it away. And so come January, I'm sure by then, like everybody, you were just couldn't wait to go throw some money down at a Bronco, right?
Exactly. And that's kind of why we ordered what we ordered, because we were getting very, very impatient.
Right. Yeah, you see all the commodity restraints and everything. So we're like, you know what? Let's just get the basic things that she needs for a daily driver.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted heated seats. She wanted cooled seats, which can't.
They need to be AC seats. The two things that bother me the most, there's no AC seats, and the whole locking tailgate.
Yes.
It'll auto lock but not auto unlock.
Oh, I think we've seen your video.
Now. And before the enclosure, it's just an inconvenience because I don't know how often when you're parked in your garage and your car's off and you're going to go get groceries, how often do you have your key fob in your pocket to get out your groceries? At least I don't. I don't.
Yeah, it's inconvenience. But yeah, so we ordered the Outer Banks again because it had those basic features. By the time I built out a Badlands, it was close to $60,000. It's like, you know what? We're gonna modify this thing anyway. We modify everything. If you look at we've had Jeeps. You start out with a Broncos or a Jeep Sport, and you build it up better than you would have gotten off the showroom floor with the Rubicon.
Right.
If you buy a Rubicon, you're going to build it up too.
Mm-hmm.
So we just figured, let's just go ahead and buy the Outer Banks, get it as quickly as possible, and we'll build it up as things break. Right. So far, with the 373 gears, almost 35-inch tires with the same size tires as Sasquatch. I think they're 315/70 R17s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that little 2.3 spins those tires great. And we haven't had any need so far for anything bigger motor-wise or gear-wise.
Yeah, no regrets. And we also went into this, Matt has his Super Duty Tremor, which is an off-road truck. And when we do our big travels with our camper and everything, obviously we have to have his truck. So his truck is very capable and has everything that we would ever need. So if we ever got stuck or anything like that, we would have his truck to the rescue.
Yeah.
Well,
rescue if you ever need it.
And I'm guessing if you wanted to tow the Bronco out west to have fun, like it would be very capable of doing all that.
Yeah.
We actually considered getting like a tent for the Bronco or for the truck, and then tow the Bronco out. So that might happen one day.
You haven't camped unless you've gotten a rooftop tent or something and with kids. That's an adventure.
Right? Yeah. Yellowstone trip planned, and we're going to be going to Badlands. So, a lot of different parks, and I'd really love to take the Bronco to Moab because I don't know, I just love Moab, and that's the ultimate off-roading place. So we're going to figure out something. what it is quite yet, if I have to drive and he drives, or get it hauled there. But it's definitely in our future for sure.
Well, you do not seem to be scared to take that Bronco out and have some fun with it. From the recent videos, you guys seem to be okay with testing it out.
I don't know if it's that we're okay or if I'm just crazy.
So you'll notice you'll never see me drive it off road, and that's because if I break it, I'm gonna hear about it for months.
Right.
So she can do whatever she wants in it, and it's all good. But I'm not driving that thing off road right now. I'll do that in my truck, and
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure my dad's probably watching this right now. The whole reason I'm gonna blame me ramping the Bronco on those little sand dunes. I blame that on my dad because, funny story, a couple of years ago, near our house, there's some railroad tracks, and I was on this road that I'm not typically on, and there's a stoplight. Well, I didn't have a stoplight this time. I actually still had a green light. I was going only 35 miles an hour, but there was a little dip right above the railroad tracks, and I ramped my van. I'm just gonna say it. I ramped my van. The skid plate flew off. Like, it was an ordeal.
I think she's dyslexic on those numbers. It's 53 maybe, not 35.
Right.
Cool about that. So if I have an off-road vehicle that's capable of doing that, I have to do it if I did it in my minivan before.
Oh, of
Right?
course, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's a sticker for you. If the minivan can do it, the Bronco can do it, right? So I have to. You guys have Cactus Gray, if I remember right, correct?
Yes.
Was there a debate with that? Because me and my wife still did debate. I mean, we're going Rapid Red, and I pulled my order back in May because I was like, I was told by inside sources, man, we're having all kinds of hard top problems. I was like, you know what? I'll just wait. And then I come to find out we were covering oh gosh, I can't think of we went to cover the first edition. I went to test drive that for a weekend, and we were in Michigan, and that's when they announced the new colors, and they were doing away with Rapid Red. And me and my wife were heartbroken because it was the only color we could agree on. And I wanted Cactus Gray so bad, and she was like, I don't like it. And I'm very jealous of the color you guys have.
I think we pretty much agreed on that one.
I mean, we were sold on the reveal night.
Yes.
Cactus Gray Bronco with the white roll bars,
It looked so good.
Nintendo themed interior, gray and white red.
Loved it. I was actually a lot disappointed when it wasn't realistic.
I was about to ask I know a lot of people were very disappointed with what they saw at reveal night that you could get, and then what you actually could buy. That had to be a little of a bummer, right?
Yeah, especially the vinyl. It was like a white, wasn't it? Like a really light color, and I loved that.
Reveal night, it was white. Yeah.
To not even have that as an option. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we ordered we have the navy pier cloth interior, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But we did not see it besides a couple of
Weird
pictures online that somebody took in a dealership or on the factory line or something. So we didn't know what to expect when we picked it up. We're like, man, we actually sold our van about a week before.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were going to go pick up the Bronco, but we're like, we hope we like it. We hope we like the color. We hope we like the interior. Hope it drives nice. It's the first one we've seen, and
really?
we're going to go,
ones I think delivered to Florida. It was definitely the first one delivered to that dealership. So it was a little bit of nerve-wracking to go through that, especially, I don't know if you remember in the beginning when people were showing pictures of the navy interior, it almost looked like a neon blue, obnoxious.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I didn't really like the roast color with the Cactus Gray. I just felt like it, I don't know, didn't jive with me too well. So I'm like, oh my, I'm going to be driving this vehicle that has these bright blue seats.
and the pictures with the seats, I think it has to do with the waterproofing. It almost comes across shiny in pictures, but it's not like that in real life.
Yeah. I'm very impressed with the seats that they put in this. Even the base models that I've got to mess with. I mean, they're nice seats. It's something you would find on a normal F-150. So, going from the minivan to a kind of a sport SUV, how was the transition? Any car seats involved or anything like that?
No, thankfully my kids are all old enough. They don't need to be in boosters or car seats. So that was sort of my reasoning. So kind of to back up, we bought Matt's new truck in end of January for this camper. And originally, we were going to use the Bronco was going to be Matt's truck because, he's been dreaming about a Bronco his whole life.
Right.
So we bought the new truck and the Bronco was like, okay, I guess that's really not going to happen anymore. And then one day I was just driving around in my van and I'm like, wait a second, why don't I take the Bronco? Because I don't have strollers anymore. I don't have to, be the typical mom mobile. He made me get a van. My van was great. It's great to have. Don't get me wrong. It served me well for many, many years. But I'm a sports car kind of girl. I like to drive fast. I drive a little erratic. So I need a Bronco. And it's been great. Like, I won't tell that story. Yeah. It's been great. That's great.
Well, so how is the before obviously you guys have your name on the side of this thing now because you're for Tampa. You guys are the celebrities of Tampa now. But initially the Bronco's the celebrity, right? I know anytime I've been near one, people will come up to you and just like, what is that? Like, have you almost gotten worn out by people like just bothering you?
No, a people person, so that doesn't really bother me.
Nice.
I mean, I'm home with my kids all day long, so if an adult wants to come up and talk to me, I'll do it. So it hasn't really been annoying. I could see where for some people, if you're not a people person or, I don't know, even just a woman in general by yourself, when a man comes up to you in a parking lot, how that could be a little intimidating or scary. Right. I always have 3 kids. Nobody's going to want anything to do with all of us. So I think we're good. And, I have fun with it. And I think I surprised some people. One guy, we were at a car show and I don't think he knew it was mine. And he's just asking me all these questions. And he's like, wait a second. He goes, do you work for Ford? Is this like your dealer's Bronco? And I'm like, no, it's mine. And he was really shocked. So I'm like, it's exciting. I enjoy it. It's become kind of a hobby of mine, just Bronco talk. I love it.
Right. And there's so few of them too.
Yeah.
And one nice thing was, since this is her car, hers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had a garage full of stuff before it even arrived. We had the wheels, we had the tires, we had the leveling kit. If that was my car, it probably would have took 4 months of pleading and begging. I need these wheels, But since it's hers, they were there 2 weeks before.
Because it just helps their marriage, it helps their family, everyone's happy.
Right.
It's a wonderful experience for all.
Right. And my wife, once I got her into off-road driving and stuff, like it opened up the checkbook so much for me. Like it was one of the best things I could do. And honestly, I'm a lot like you, Matt. I don't drive much anymore. I have a lot of fun watching her drive, explore, and I'm out there trying to document the stuff. And speaking of that, so you guys ran up on some Broncos. You went to an off-road park, and I guess you just had kind of a Bronco day, correct?
So that's our second meetup. This one was hosted by Old Florida Off-Road. They were looking to get some big Broncos and Bronco Sports out to their park just to see if they needed to modify anything, because they had no idea. Just like, the rest of the public, nobody really knows what they're capable of. So they're like, hey, can we get a group of you out here? And I think there was like 5 of us that showed up. And we had so much fun. We're actually talking with them to hopefully get some big Bronco celebration. I don't know. We're going to do something where we can all hang out and do off-roading there, because the staff there were amazing. They were so nice. And then just seeing 5 Broncos in one place, it felt like Christmas morning.
Oh, I bet.
I'm like, oh, what is this? What is this? 5 Broncos?
Right. And I think one of those Broncos had a lifestyle off-road bumper on it, if I remember right.
Yes. He's one of the prototype, I guess you would say.
Yeah. The very first one on there. And I rumor has it you guys might be talking to them a little bit. I don't know. I'll leave that to y'all, but
maybe.
But so yeah, that I agree. Like when you're around a couple, I did the Dream Cruise in Detroit, and there's all the manufacturers have their stuff. It's where Ford brought out the new green color for the Bronco and stuff. And I'm driving this first edition around and just having a blast with this. And it's like, you're like, holy cow, that's a Bronco. Then you're like, oh wait, I'm in a Bronco. What? Like it kind of, you get excited like, oh, there's one of those.
Yeah. And even if you see one out in the wild like that, we were kind of ready. Okay, we're going to see other Broncos.
Yeah.
Act normal. Don't get too excited. But we were in North Carolina last week, and it's a little town called Blowing Rock. And all of a sudden, my kids start screaming, Bronco, Bronco. And all the people were looking like, what are they saying? I'm like, oh, it's okay. They just see a Bronco. And sure enough, a new Bronco was right there. And I'm like,
We were such excited as a kid, but
Right.
all the bystanders were like, what are you guys so excited
I don't
about?
like this Bronco thing. You understand it. Sorry.
Right. So what right now? I know you guys have done a 5 things video, but what are just a couple right now that you've? What are a couple of the things that annoy you, and what are the best parts about this thing?
So one thing I really, really love, and it's not really specific to the Bronco because I know a lot of the other Ford vehicles are getting it, but the Sync 4 and the big screen, I love it. Not having to hook up my phone with a cord to have the maps and everything work, that was always a big pain in the booty for me.
Right.
I really like that. And what was the other thing I was just saying I really was one of my favorite things? I don't remember what it was. We were just talking about that. But with really everything about the Bronco, I love. I really do. People think I'm crazy and that it's all a show. But I haven't been this excited about a vehicle probably since I was 16 years old.
Awesome.
It's just really cool. It's capable, and you can use it as a mom car everyday driver, and then go off road and ramp it a couple times. I mean, how many vehicles can you do that? I would say my 2 biggest pet peeves, which I kind of talked about already, the fact that you don't have air conditioned seats. We live in Florida.
Yeah.
We have to have that, and I miss that a lot. And the other thing would be the locking tailgate. And I just want to emphasize for anybody that has seen our thumbnails, and it is hard to describe a video with a thumbnail and with a tiny little bit of description. It is very hard to portray what you're trying to tell. So a lot of times people are like, oh, you're an idiot. You ran your car into a garage. Oh, you're an idiot. You locked your keys in your car. Well, it's more than just that. Yes, I might be a little bit of an idiot. I did run in the garage. Yeah, okay, I get you there. But the whole trunk thing, if I ever can meet a Ford engineer, I want to ask them their reasoning behind it. Because if a trunk auto locks, why doesn't it auto unlock?
Yeah.
Just going to say that. When the doors are off, it drives me crazy. It makes me mad whenever I have the doors off.
I
So
guarantee you that's an oversight is what it was. And I guarantee you they've watched your videos. Trust me, they watch all these videos. They keep an eye on this stuff. So I guarantee you they'll fix it.
Thing. That's really if they could do an update on that, that is really the biggest pet peeve of mine. And I think I was one of the people to notice it because I drive very often with the doors off, where
Right.
Most people, especially now, they're not in a climate where they want the doors off.
Right.
So Ford, if you're watching, please do something about that.
Yeah. And sometimes, she'll be driving and I'll hop out to go get something from the trunk and, I don't have a key.
Yeah.
So I'm running around the house in the Bronco looking for a key just so I can open the trunk.
And if you don't have a
So-
Bronco yet, there's actually no buttons inside the vehicle if the doors are off. To unlock the door, it's on the door. So if you don't have a door on, you actually have to get your fob out to unlock it.
Right.
So
Right.
we're going to actually add the keypad
Yes.
as another thing. So the keypad, I think, is probably a must. I've seen a lot of people moving them to the fuel door. We'll probably do that when we get it. And then also the upfitter switches. We're wishing now that we added them. I did not originally add those because I thought we could add them after, OEM, but
Right.
aftermarket later and not be, commodity restrained in case those for some reason were back ordered. And now we're finding that they're, $350 to add.
Yeah.
A little much.
So, those couple of small things I wish we had on the order originally, but it's been great. Going back to the cactus gray color, the pictures that you see online where it's sometimes blue, sometimes green, sometimes gray, it's like that in real life too. So
Yeah.
sometimes, so she'll pull out of the garage and like, oh, it's a nice mint and green Bronco. And then sometimes it's like, oh man, that's baby blue. And I'm like, I'm glad it's not mine. But But it's just it changes color in real life, and even sometimes you're parked on concrete, it looks like brand new fresh concrete. So it's got a life of its own, and it actually keeps it fresh, and we do love that color.
I would say the only downfall, maybe in the future, I feel like Cactus Gray and Area 51 is very, very popular. So if you don't like to have the color that everyone has, I would say you probably don't want that one, but I really do like the color. I like it because it seems different in every angle that you look at it.
Right. Yeah. Area 51 for me was as the launch thing. I was like, oh, wow, that's a great color. That's initially what I put a reservation for on that color. And yeah, the more I saw it on a Bronco Sport, my dealership got a Bronco Sport in, and me and my wife was just like, you know what? No, it's not for us at all. It's cool in pictures, but I think I would get bored with it really, really quick.
Yeah, Josh, who has the the lifestyle bumper, he's got Area 51, and it's beautiful. It really is. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with any of the colors.
Right.
I think they all look good, and the black looks really boxy looking. I mean, it looks tough, so we really like it.
Yeah.
Well, I have to.
I'm glad we.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just say I'm happy with Cactus Gray though. I'm glad we stuck it out for that one.
Definitely. There was worse colors, cyber orange.
I split to that color, either that one or was it Rapid Red? But right before we put the order in, I'm like, should we really get Cactus Gray? And that was the ones I was thinking about. That's funny.
Well, part of the cool thing with your channel is, I mean, obviously y'all show adventures and just beyond Bronco, y'all show all kinds of stuff y'all are doing in your life. But I like the fact that when you're on your channel, you've documented when you've had problems like the hatch. Like, was it user error? Is it Ford's error? Let the audience be kind of the judge. But like the when y'all were pulling out of the garage and the issue with the top, which I can see how that can totally happen. You're just not paying attention. You're used to a normal car that doesn't have. Oh, you were pulling in. And
pulling in, yeah.
But I like that your channel documents this. It's like, hey man, this is just part of life. It happens. We move on. And like with the lift, y'all were going to do the lift yourself. And then just hey, the smartest thing you could do was, you know what? Time out. Let's regroup and let somebody else handle that.
Yeah, that was actually quite scary because, I've done lift kits before, full lift kits, not just leveling kits.
Yeah. And
that one bolt was stuck. And I could not get it off without damaging something.
Right.
So, I mean, it was scary because then I take it to Ford. I'm like, hey, I need some bolts to replace these damaged ones that we have here. And they're like, there's 2 across town. So they're open at 7 a.m. I'm like, okay, I'm going to run over there before I have to work, get these bolts. I run over and they're like, you know what? Those are for Bronco Sports.
Wow.
They're not for the big Bronco.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, now what do I do? And he's like, oh, give me your VIN number. I'll look it up in the system. Give him my VIN. It's like, yeah, that's not in here either. There's nothing for your car yet. And I just had a moment of panic because, here we are with a car that's brand new. She's excited about. We sold her car, and then I just damaged the bolt. So that was scary. And
4 Wheel Parts, they actually had to get another bolt, but they were lucky enough to have it overnighted from, I don't know, some dealership. So it wasn't us. It was just that bolt.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but at the end of it, I like how y'all documented it and was like, hey, we just thought better of it. We're not going to tear anything up. Let's take this to professionals, because I've seen there's some YouTube channels out there where you can just tell they've went too far and they're stuck with whatever they're going to have to go with it. And I would rather watch somebody that's honest about it and be like, hey, just, this part of it wasn't for us right now.
Yeah, and one thing, I think a few of the Broncos that were with us, I know a few of them were from some of the forums, and they got to witness firsthand how we record, how we take our video, and it really is
by the seat of our pants.
By the seat of our pants. I mean, so as filming for YouTube and trying to enjoy life, you have to balance it, and you don't want to be there just to be recording video all day. You want to also enjoy it. So, as we're going along, I'm like, oh, this looks like a cool spot. And I get out and I run as fast as I can to get ahead. And I hide in the bushes and I record and I hope it's good. and I'm in the, the state of mind where it's either going to be really good or it's going to be really bad. Both will be okay for YouTube. So, but it's one of those balancing acts of enjoying life, being in the moment, but also, wanting to get some good footage as well. But nothing's staged, nothing's planned.
Yeah.
And we just try to be as honest as we can with it, whether it's good or bad.
And especially in the beginning, a lot of people had a lot of questions, and that's why we really started pumping out the Bronco videos, because I was getting messages and just stuff all the time with the same questions over and over. So, that's why we were pumping out so many videos. And then we just want to try to help people. I mean, that's what our mission is, just to love others and be kind to others. And that's kind of another reason why we're doing this. And if I can save one person from driving through their garage with their top half back, it's worth it. And in all honesty, like, can you imagine? I didn't even have it for a week, and I did that. And I was just so upset with myself. And just, I think of my situation, if somebody had the enclosure and they happen to put their purse in there with their doors off,
Right.
What if they had little kids or there was an emergency? So if I can save one person in a desperate time, it's worth putting myself out there, because it's not easy. And as you know, the YouTube world is not always the nicest. So we do this to help others and hopefully prevent them from making some of the mistakes that we have done.
Right. And it's definitely, you throw yourself out there, because it is, the angry people will be louder than the nicer people sometimes. And
Hey, you too old to wear your hat like that?
No. You're not.
I enjoy those. Honestly, I enjoy those comments. I've had more people like comment about my little goatee or whatever, or my hat. And I'm like, you know what that means? They're watching. So keep watching.
Exactly. Well, I liked it how, I think it was, I don't know, a pretty recent video. You turned your hat, had it forward, and you're like, oh, wait. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah. Oh, you got to go. You just got to go with it and have it. And you know what the best part is? There's a delete button on those comments. And if it really gets under your skin, you just delete it and move on. Like,
but the best part is, I think a lot of the haters sometimes get the attention, but honestly, there are some really amazing people that watch our channel that they seem like friends to us. We haven't even met them in person. Some of them we're going to meet at Off Rodeo in a couple weeks, so we're really excited about that. But I feel like the community that comes from this far outweighs any negative. And I'm all about that.
Right. Which Off Rodeo are you guys going to?
Las Vegas. We're going to do it on Saturday after SEMA.
Oh, nice. Nice. So you're getting the whole Vegas effect, the total Bronco Vegas effect, because like this year is going to be it's going to be the year of Bronco, I think, because in 19 it was kind of the Gladiators year for Jeep. They was just everywhere. And the one thing I will say, that because I'll be at SEMA too, and the one thing I'll kind of bummed about is all these guys couldn't wait to put their SEMA builds. They couldn't wait to show them there. Like, we're seeing so much of this content beforehand, and it's kind of like, well, this trip costs a lot of money, and I kind of want to see these things and video them and have fun. But it's like, well, I've seen this now.
Yeah, it takes the excitement out of it.
Yeah, I think the Bronco may be the Toyota Supra of this year's SEMA, because in 2020, Toyota Supra was everywhere there. So I'm hoping the Bronco is there, and I hope there's some surprises. I really do. I hope there's some things that haven't been uncovered yet.
Oh, I think Ford's going to have a couple of really good surprises there. So
I think so.
Me too. I'm hoping.
So.
Yeah, I am too.
I'll have the deposit ready. So
I definitely have I'll be there documenting that one for sure. So SEMA, how did that come to be for you guys? What made you go, you know what? I'm going to apply to go to SEMA.
That was a dream.
Yeah, I've been trying to go to SEMA for 12 years. So, I saw that they had a media application, so I fired it off, and they accepted us. So
and through that process, they actually asked us to be a social media correspondent for them. So it just comes with exclusive access, and we're just kind of the eyes and ears for them. And I don't know, it seems really, really cool. It's a pretty new thing for us. I mean, all of this is very, very new and exciting. So we're definitely very thankful for the opportunity. Just to go to SEMA alone, it hasn't even sunk in yet, and I can't believe it's less, 2 weeks
Yeah,
away.
2 weeks.
And it's a dream come true, really. That's all I can say about it.
What is will the whole family be there?
Who are you gonna stay with?
Our grandparents.
They're
I
gonna
was gonna
stay
say
with their grand.
I saw her going no.
They were gonna maybe come over the weekend because Friday is like a family friendly event where they'd be able to come. But as you know, flights are expensive, and Matt and I haven't had a couple days away in ever. I don't know. It's been a really, really long time. So they're going to have fun with their grandparents, and then we're going to be exhausted at SEMA.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel suddenly that Matt, this is like a thing of family therapy here for you a little bit. Like, well, we need some time. I like I said earlier, this is my first SEMA as well. I mean, I've covered it from afar. I'm very excited. It's going to be interesting because, you know, the whole mask thing and whatever anybody's opinion on that is, you know, you got to, if you want to go, you got to do those things. So I'm like, how am I going to try to cover these things? You got to have a mask on, and then you got to take it off, and then, you know, you're trying to talk to people, and that's going to be kind of interesting. But I think all the cool cars and trucks are going to make up for all the bummer parts of it.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're hoping, you know, at the last minute, Las Vegas comes through and allows us some freedom. So
Yeah.
it could happen.
Oh yeah.
I never realized how much I rely on people's lips when they're talking. So I'm like, I don't know if I have bad hearing or what, because when a mask goes on, I'm like, what?
Yes.
What? So it should
Yes.
be interesting.
Oh yeah. Well, when do you guys come? Are you going to be there opening day? And
We get in Monday afternoon.
okay, yeah, we
bit
might
about
see each other at the airport then, because we'll be in. No, we
Yeah?
come in Monday. Well, 10 p.m. their time, I guess, is when I'll be flying in.
Okay.
The time
We'll be in
zones always messes me up.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like literally 7 a.m. You got to go because they have the cool breakfast deal they're doing. I think Jay Leno will be there, and there's going to be a
Yeah.
bunch to do, and take lots of SD cards is all I can say.
Right. Now, do you think you'll get starstruck with anybody there?
Nah.
Like if you had the opportunity to meet Jay Leno or anything like that, or do you get starstruck?
No.
No?
I was in the music business for a while, so people are people to me. So I've met a lot of country stars and been in their houses. So I don't know. I was a musician at one time too. So like a lot of these people, like I think it's cool, but I'm also not the guy that's gonna want to rush up to and shake somebody's hand or get a picture with them. Like I'm like, oh cool, there they are. I just move them about my business. No, don't get me
I'm with
wrong.
you.
There's always time for there's always selfie time. But
No, there's only one like group of people that I would do that for, and I've already done it, but I would still do it every single time, and that's for Hanson.
there you go. So I seen that on one of your social media, something about Hanson. It might be in your personal page or something. What is
Anybody do stuff.
what is this Hanson thing about?
I mean, do you remember Hanson from like
I do remember.
1997?
Yeah, Mbop. Yeah.
They're still a band, and they're actually really, really good. And I've just been a fan for a long time, and I don't know. I love them.
Well, now I'm disappointed you don't have a Hanson T-shirt on or something.
Okay. I changed it right before because I'm like, people may make fun of me. So I took it off.
Hey.
She comes to me. She's like, Mom, you cannot wear a Hanson shirt during this interview. I'm like, why can't I? So I changed into my plain green shirt. So I should have worn it. See,
it would have been all right. It would have been all right. Well, so have you named your Bronco? I mean, because we're on the Hanson kick. So is there which one's your favorite Hanson, by the way? There's got to be a favorite.
Oh, that's hard. They're all really nice guys. We've actually got to hang out with them before in Tulsa. They're
Nice.
really, really cool. But when I was a teeny bopper, Taylor Hanson was my favorite.
Taylor,
Now
was that
as an adult,
was Taylor
he was
the
the
singer?
middle one.
Oh, okay.
yeah. And now that I'm older, I like them all, but probably Zach and Isaac are more relatable.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, see, this
But
isn't
as
just
far as-
Broncos.
You're
Save me.
Hey, you know what though? It doesn't matter. Like I say this a lot. It doesn't matter what you drive or whatever. Like these conversations too. Like I love when they just like. I like to know that you like Hanson. I don't know why. I think that's fun. And if they're, I have this weird thing. So this is strange. So I have this weird thing. I'll grab my brand new vehicle, whatever I buy, and I have it in my head. If I don't play a certain band through the stereo the first time, the soul of the vehicle is just not. It's not going to connect for some reason. So for me, it's a different band. It's not Hanson, but please tell me some Hanson just played in this Bronco.
Yeah, it was the first band played in the Bronco.
There you go. See, so I'm not completely crazy. All right.
You're not completely crazy. I have
Luckily,
not.
I was in my truck behind it.
He will admit someday he had fun at the concert. He
Yeah.
met a bunch of other Hanson husbands that were there with their wives, miserable,
So they're
drunk.
a Hanson
more
husband. Do they sit somewhere else?
We do. I mean, oh man, I hate to take this interview as to Hanson Town, but we actually, that group of husbands were drinking in the corner and we got shushed by the crowd at the concert.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I mean, I think we were having a pretty good time.
That's great.
But back to
Yeah.
the Bronco, I did not name it yet. I have two names in mind. I felt like it is fitting. One is Buttercup because I don't know if you've noticed that anytime we off-road, I always say buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Mall Crawler
Mall
because
Crawler.
I thought that was kind of funny. So I don't know yet. I feel like it's just going to come naturally.
Well, I don't feel like you should. If you call it mall crawler, I guess the irony you could take it off road, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. And then I thought about Bucky because it was really bucking when
Yeah.
I was going over those sand dune things. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Well, so what are kind of the plans? What do you guys? I mean, obviously you have your own channel. We don't want to spoil anything, but I mean, is it more lift? Do you guys have, what kind of where are you going to take this thing, and more extreme, or just leave it alone for a while?
I mean, right now we're kind of on the what breaks, we'll fix. So right now we need skid plates.
Definitely need a skid plate and
I've
bumper.
heard through inside sources about the skid plates. So
Yeah, so I mean, what's on there now is this plastic, I guess, wind deflectors, but they're broken now. So we need to fix those. We probably need different steps because those kind of get in the way of clearance. And from there, maybe a little bit more ground clearance, maybe like a 4-inch coil overlift. And these are all things I haven't told you about yet. But.
Yeah, see, this whole family therapy session thing going on again.
I know. How was the soft top? Because I had told a lot of people back in June, hey, if you want your Bronco, switch to the soft top. Was soft top always on y'all's radar, or was it the MIC top?
For me, yes. I don't know.
Originally, I did want the hard top because I liked the integrated roof rack. But finding out the payload really wasn't there, and that what can you put on the roof rack when you don't have enough payload to fit 5 people and
Right.
your gear? That kind of went off the table. And the soft top is great quality, easy to use. I mean, and especially here in Florida, we've needed it many occasions where just a sudden downpour comes with the doors off, top off, and you stay relatively dry going down the highway with the doors off and the top on during a downpour.
Yeah. So if we did it all over again, I would still get a soft top. Actually, I don't think I would ever get a hard top. I don't know. Maybe, but just the convenience of the soft top for us, because I love going top back or topless
Right.
all the time. So
I like
for
the way
me,
it does the
it's worth it.
beamy top, sort of like it just does that, where you can pull the back sides and the back window out and just leave it like that.
Yeah, and that's how I have it a lot. And then we got the gear shade and we use that. But I love the look of it, and it's not everyone's like, oh, I mean, I don't know. It's a car.
Yeah.
You have a radio on. It's not that loud. So I don't know what the hate is on the soft top, but I don't hate it. I like it.
Oh, well, my Jeep Gladiator's loud and it's got a hard top. I mean, you can definitely hear road noise and everything. And then it clicks when the body shifts around. You can tell the tops are clicking and moving. And so, I wanted the hard top initially just because of added protection from would-be thieves. But at the end of the day, it's like they would break in your car no matter what if they wanted something. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
The one thing, we did pull in the garage with it half back, and about
Hold on.
yeah, I was
Twice, not just me. He did it too.
so about 3 weeks later, I'm driving it with the top halfway back, and the reason why I didn't want to take the back windows out, I was in a hurry, so I just flipped it back. In my mind, the whole entire drive is don't pull in the garage, don't pull in the garage.
Yep.
Sure enough, pulled right into the garage, got stuck. It kind of gets pinned in the garage. And of course, you can let air out of the tires and you can do different things, but the noise that it makes as it enters the garage makes you feel like you're totaled your vehicle. That alone is terrifying, but we know how to get it out now. It takes a shovel. Just to pry the garage up a little bit, or the garage door up a little bit higher, and then a couple people hanging on the sides of the top.
Everything in our garage, so we should never, ever, ever do that again, ever.
Well, there's a video
Right.
idea for you, right? Like here's the how-to of disassembling your garage door to get your Bronco out.
And I see a few comments about the soft top care, and ours looks like a cheetah on top right now because we took it off road through mud, through water, and I don't know if we stained it or not, but
we did. We had a video where we talked about his cleaning regimen of the Bronco of like 50 different things. I think he has a problem.
a little addiction.
But he did try, it was a soft top cleaner from Chemical Guys. And that worked better than anything else we've tried. It's still not 100%. So we're still trying to nail down how to care for it, because if you off-road in it, I don't know how.
Top has a little bit of a leopard print to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The roots part, yeah.
Right. Well, I know you guys have those crazy little bugs down there that like to hit your vehicle and like ruin paint. Have you guys thought of any kind of protection for that?
No.
No. I mean, I clean it like crazy other than the engine bay. The engine bay has too many hoses and wires to even try to tackle. I mean, so that's a mess right now. But the outside, I try to keep it as clean as possible. And really, man, we looked at some like paint protection films or ceramic coating, but we don't keep cars long enough to get the value out of that. And I feel like if I just, detail it every other day, it will stay nice. So
wow, you're scaring the Bronco.
Throw down $3,000.
You're scaring the Bronco people over here. We don't keep cars long enough. Uh-oh.
Well, we said in one of our videos we would hope to get a Raptor one.
Yes.
Now
Really?
the possibility of it actually happening, slim to none, but one can dream, right?
I mean, the slim chances. We got to deal with whatever allocation process and waiting list, and we got to get lucky again.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I could ever sell my Bronco. No matter if I got another one, like this one holds sentimental value to me.
Of course, and you're building a YouTube empire based on this thing, right?
I know. People might be like, it's just a car. It is. It is just a car, and it is not important. That there's more important things in life. But the memories it has made with us just in the last 3 months, I don't know. It just makes it a sentimental item to our family.
Well, guys, if you guys have any more comments, please bring them up and let them check out your comments. I know for me, like I know Cigar Texans there was talking about PPF. I've been looking at that matte PPF. I don't know if you've seen it on any of the Facebook groups where the guy with the gray did the matte, and it just looks really like a flat paint suddenly, and that looks really, really good. But the problem is the cost of this stuff is so outrageous.
It is very expensive.
Like just
Very
for the
expensive.
vinyl probably that you guys had done is like that's expensive enough, and then thinking the whole
I
vehicle.
was shocked. They started making it for me before I agreed to it. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not the type of person just to like leave, but
Yeah.
I kept asking for it, and it is what it is. But I'm happy with it. I'm glad we have it.
But if anybody owns a business, the Bronco is a rolling billboard. I mean,
Yes.
you go down the highway and you constantly have cameras out on you. So, having our YouTube channel and wanting to grow it, of course, we're going to throw the name on the side. And, get that exposure because it's constantly being videoed.
It is. You have to watch how you drive because, if you have road rage or you're a jerk and you cut somebody off, like your YouTube channel's on there. So it's like an accountability. Like, you
Right.
better drive good because your channel's advertised.
Well, your insurance is probably like, yes, this settles them down.
Oh yeah. We should get that. What is it? Snapshot or something that Progressive has shows you're driving. I denied that before. Maybe I should try it now. My insurance.
No. No.
Well, I know, and many people in this chat, guys, we have 110 in right now. If you guys would slap that like button, I would greatly appreciate that. We only had 57 likes. You're breaking our hearts over here. But so today people started getting pictures from Ford, and I had known this was coming for a long time, but I didn't want to, for one, ruin the surprise. And on my Instagram, people should have known because I have a picture on my Instagram of my buddy from Lifestyle Off-Roads, his being built. And they should have known this was coming. But I noticed that you happened to post a picture today. How excited was that?
I was pleasantly surprised because I thought maybe it was a new thing going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was going to be something, we've had our Bronco for 3 months now. So he didn't even get to read the email. He was working, and I'm like, hey, check your email. And sure enough, we got a picture of the Bronco on there. I don't know if we can show you. Might not come in.
Yeah.
There she is. She looks a lot different now.
Right.
So that was a cool surprise.
Does that make you instantly go, wow, man, we've done a lot to this vehicle real quick?
Yeah, just the wheels and tires really make a huge difference. We bought them, before we had the Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
And then after we got the Bronco, I'm like, oh, these are actually not as bad as I thought they were going to be. But now that we've done all that, it really changes the look, definitely.
Well, is there anything you guys have done right now that you're like, man, I kind of wish I wouldn't have done that now?
Oh.
No, I think ordering more parts earlier is the only thing I regret. We need to order more parts. We need more stuff.
well, COVID doesn't really allow to some things to go as rapidly as you'd like, right?
Yeah. One thing I really would like is a bring your own device bar for my Bronco, because I would definitely use it right now. I just have my own little thing I made off of Amazon. But I think that's the hardest part is now you're able to get a couple more things. In June, there was nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. You can maybe get, wheels and tires if you're lucky. Tires, those are hard to get just because of COVID. But now as they're releasing more things, and that's why I'm really excited to go to SEMA, because there's going to be a whole new world for Bronco coming up. So it's just practicing patience. I'm not the most patient person, so trying to be patient and figure out what we're going to do next. I do feel like a part of me, this is going to be some sort of crazy extravagant build. We're obviously a family and on a budget, but one can dream, right? I have a vision of it, but it might be, I don't know how long it'll take, but it's coming.
Well, and you're right, and that's one thing I am excited about with SEMA is the fact that, there's definitely there was a lot of parts sort of promised that never came through for whatever reason, or haven't yet anyways come through. So I'm definitely kind of ready for that, because that's a no-brainer to me. That was that doesn't seem very difficult, and I've seen a few companies talking about it, but I've never seen those companies actually come through with anything.
Yeah, I'm hoping somebody, hey, anybody out there,
right?
I'm waiting.
Anybody,
I'll
come
buy
on.
it.
Yeah. So what tires did you guys end up going with?
We did BFG, the all-terrain, KO2s.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to go Nitto, but everywhere I called, they were out of stock. A few people told me that they were on a cargo ship outside of LA. They had 30,000 tires out there waiting. And again, we didn't want to wait, so I took what was in stock. I've had KO2s before and loved them. They're really quiet on the road. I've never had a problem with grip off-road with them. So I actually love them. I would buy those again for the Bronco. I think they look great. And we did the same size tire that comes on the Sasquatch. So we knew they'd fit. We knew they cleared the third brake light in the back. So very happy with those.
Well, with that too, like that's one of the way they did the fenders on that is so nice that you knew you were gonna put big tires on those things. Any worries that now that you were seeing some breakage on these things? Any worries for you guys? You're going off road now. Ford parts are really hard to come by right now. Like the tie rod stuff like that. Any concerns with that?
Oh yeah.
Now, for me, I don't know.
So when she went over those whoops, yeah, I mean, really, I wasn't thinking about tie rods breaking or anything like that at that moment. I was more worried about the airbags blowing because she was hitting so hard. Luckily, that didn't happen, but I think later that day is when we saw the guy with the, I don't know, what do you call it, the stance where the tires are pointed outwards and the tie rods were broke. I think something up in the transfer case was stripped out. I mean, that is, that's concerning because can you replace it?
So that's why it's concerning, because I can't be without a vehicle.
Right.
And, you got to have stuff to replace it. Now, if you had parts or it was easy to get parts, that's a chance you take having some fun. But after my big experience over the couple weekends ago, I don't know, I may settle down a little bit, but when I get in the moment, it's so much fun. So I don't know.
We're going to 2 events.
Yeah.
So we're ready to go.
Recommend buying some tie rods because those are things on independent front suspensions that, I mean, you want those to break before something else anyways. So I definitely would get a set when you can find them. I know my buddy with Luke over at Lifestyle, he was smart enough that he found the guy that solid axled his for SEMA and got a hold of that guy. That guy was like, yeah, I'll sell you those parts, and was able to scoop that stuff up real quick. But yeah, they're hard that stuff's hard to find. And I felt sorry for that guy because he was 3 weeks without, and I think he ended up screwing up this rack and pinion too. And I think some of these people are going to learn real quick. You put 37s on these vehicles. Yes, they can do it, but just remember, you got to drive that thing home, and don't go too silly too quick.
Yeah, I need that written on my forehead. Don't get too silly too quick.
Well, there was a sticker that people were putting on their dash of something about remember you have to drive this home stupid or something like that. I definitely have to have that. I know somebody was asking, what are y'all doing for cup holders with the doors off? This is something I've not experienced. So
yeah, the cup holders, that's kind of an inconvenience. You only have the 2 cup holders in the front seat area.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we don't have leather. If you have leather, you can have the cup holders in the back. So what we did, now that we have the enclosure, it has the Molly panels all back there. So what I did is I just bought cup holders, Velcroed them to the back of that, and that'll hold the kids' bottles and everything when we're driving in transport. Now, it doesn't help if you're going through a drive-through and you need to hold a drink or anything, but my kids aren't allowed to eat or anything in the Bronco anyways. It's always been a rule. I don't let my kids eat in the cars. It's just too messy.
But you have those awesome floor mats. I mean, come on.
Well, I tell you what, I should have put this in the Bronco video when we were all doing that old Florida thing. You should have seen those mats, all the sand that was in it, and I just dumped it out and it was perfect. They work great. And that's been the first time. Normally when we buy a vehicle, we'll always have mats before we even purchase the vehicle. So this is the first time that we haven't been able to do that. But thankfully the carpet's held up pretty good.
That's a little trick of mine. Whenever we buy a car, I take the stock carpet floor mats, throw them in a bag, seal it up, and immediately put in floor liners. And then when we go to sell it or trade it in, I throw those old floor mats back in there, and it makes it smell like a new car again.
Sure, and then
brand new.
You can usually get some money out of the floor liners too. I know with WeatherTech and stuff like that, you usually can get a little bit of your money back.
50%, yeah.
Let's see. Trying to find some more questions. And guys, I know this is long. Thank you for playing along here. After the start we had, I guess. Let's see. Lifestyle Off-Road is in here. What's up, Luke? Let's see. There was a couple more questions. What do you know the rating of the tires that you're running right now?
They're E,
They
the
are
load
E?
rating. They are E. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Super quiet, super comfortable. The Bronco, it really does soak up all of the bumps. It's amazing. So before this, I had an F-150. We put like a 6-inch lift on it and 35s. Went through different tires, and of course, it's a truck, so it's got the stiffer rear, but you felt every bump in the road with that. And the Bronco it's the smoothest can be.
Yeah.
It soaks up everything in the road. And going with E-rated tires, I wasn't certain if it was going to make it stiffer, but really, it's
I didn't notice the
great.
difference when it was stock to what I have now.
Right.
The way it drives, the noise level, anything. I'm being completely honest. When I did not notice a difference at all.
Well, Matt is asking, do you ever have a sixth person, if I could say it right, that's not in the family to help you do record your videos?
No, unless there happens to be a friend along with us or something. Like I think last time some people took some video and shared, but did we use those for the
No,
video?
we-
I don't think we used them. So yeah, normally it's just me. I get out and run as fast as I can. Yeah.
Sometimes if he's doing it, but like the install videos and stuff, normally I'll make him do the install, but we're actually working on a video right now where I'm doing the install and he's the camera person.
Uh-oh.
It's not a very good mixture.
She hates it.
I'm like, did you get this? So, no, it would be nice to have somebody like recording us, but sometimes the kids help out, but most of the time, they're just all soaked in the moment and enjoying it as well.
Right. Somebody says, nice of you, Matt, to intentionally drive into the garage to make your wife feel better.
That's what I did. Oh man, she was so mad at me, and I'm like, remember how calm I was when you did it?
He was taking our daughter to church and he came home and I heard a big crash. And my son was outside rollerblading and I'm like, did he run into a bike or something and it fell off the wall, whatever? But I didn't hear any crying. So I started slowly walking over and Asher comes running, Mom, you're gonna be so mad. I'm like, what happened? He's like, Daddy, just go look outside. I'm like, oh no. And I saw him and I really, really tried to not be angry because he was not angry with me. He does not get a temper. He's very like, this is him 100% of the time. So I feel bad when I get upset, but I just walked away because what else can I do? I ended up calming down and nothing was broke. But yeah.
I mean, it's taken some abuse. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's holding strong.
Ford tough, man. If it can go through our garage twice and the other video it wasn't snapped down or I don't know, the Velcro straps wouldn't hold it. That soft top has been through a beating. I will tell you that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Go
ahead.
It'd be different if you backed into the garage. So
Oh.
yeah, don't back into the garage. That would be bad.
If you had it and backed out, I think you could really mess it up that way.
Right. Someone's asking, how are the cloth seats holding up?
They're fantastic.
Surprisingly, yeah. I was not thrilled about getting cloth.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we decided to go with. And surprisingly, it's staying clean. That was my biggest concern is how easy it would be to clean and everything. So yeah, I'm
super comfortable, they stay very clean. I mean, the ribbing looks nice. I mean, they really are great. We actually originally planned going with a navy pure interior because that would go best with like a white.
Yeah.
We were thinking like cat skin or something later.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes out, and I think cat skin's out now, but I don't think they have any white like the launch Bronco. But we were thinking about doing that, and really we'd like the seats so much we're going to leave them as they are.
And I think too, like with the soft top, with us having it back all the time, having leather with no AC seats, which I don't know if this is true, but does cat skin seats come ventilated? I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of cool. That would be the only way I would get any sort of leather seat, I think, is if they had any.
Yeah, it'd be too sticky.
It'd be too sticky out here in Florida.
Right. Let's see. Someone was asking if you guys still like the radios that y'all installed, and I'm assuming so because we asked that earlier.
Yeah, that
Um,
thing thump.
Yeah.
yeah, those Midlands are so clear. Like that GMRS or
Oh,
the
those
yes,
radios. I
yes.
thought you were talking about
The
the
stereo
stereo
install.
Oh,
install.
well, yeah.
So
Maybe they were asking about the stereo.
So the stereo install, we went just to Best Buy. I mean, I haven't bought stereo equipment since I was like 18,
Right.
so 21 years ago. But
He's old.
yeah, but so we went to Best Buy. You know, they didn't have much of a stereo area anymore. I didn't realize that.
Right.
So you know, they didn't really have much of selection, and we wanted to try it out that night because we were kind of tired with the speakers that came in it. I bought some cheap what Kenwood's, right, for the speakers in a dash and the rear pods. I think they were $30 for each set. Installed in like 10 minutes, and they sound amazing.
Yes.
Big impact to the stereo
Yeah,
system.
I do think though there needs to be more bass in it, which is why
Yeah.
we got the JBL Bass Pro Go.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't get any bass sound really at all. Even if you do change out the speakers, I don't think it's enough. So I've been thumping around my kids, man. I've went up a whole coolness level with them. Not only do I not drive a minivan, but I'm thumping down the highway too.
Wait, is it Hanson?
Not all the time. Not all the time. Come on.
But yeah, I'm hearing that a lot. I don't recall in that first edition that I drove the stereo being great or bad. I mean, the 12-inch monitor is amazing. But I hear a lot of complaints about the speakers in these things.
Yeah, it was really muffled. It sounded like somebody was like singing into a shoebox.
Exactly.
Is what it sounded like. And we had the bass stereo. We didn't have the B&O.
Right.
B&O's can get in my truck, but
But I heard the B&O is different for the Broncos. It's not calibrated like it is for the Super Duties and stuff.
Right.
So I think I saw in one of the groups or something that someone had a B&O and is still doing an upgrade with their speakers and everything. So I'm not sure.
Huh.
yeah. So I mean, for $500, we did the JBL Bass Pro Go. We did again, $30 set of speakers for the front, the dash, and the rear pods, and then we did some kicker 6.5-inch speakers down in the kick panels. Really, those did not make much of a difference. I guess because where they're located at, but But yeah, I mean, for $500, I mean, we totally transformed the sound. It's actually there's probably too much sound sometimes. But with Hanson.
Oh man, they're reciting Hanson lyrics now in the chat, so this is great.
Oh no.
Oh, no way. Hey, Hanson, you watching? People are going to be looking them up tonight. Like, are they really still a band?
Yes, they are. They are a band.
They are.
I've seen them. It is one of those bands that I've seen tour, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about those guys. And hey, I was a musician when they come out, and they were like 12 years old, whatever. And I remember digging those couple songs I heard on the radio, being like, I didn't go out and buy their T-shirts or anything, but
Right.
I
You probably have
listened.
them in your closet. Come on.
Yeah, there's a whole Hanson collection back here. Let's see. Any other questions going on? Some people are saying they got their stuff from Crutchfield for their stereo stuff.
Impatient. That's why we
Yeah.
went the route we went.
We went what was available at 8 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the same way. I want to do it and I want it done and I'm over with it and just yes, I totally understand that.
And when you're driving around a Bronco with the top down, the doors off, you kind of need some good music playing.
Yeah, it's built for that, and you're in one of the best states for that too. Now,
yes.
are you guys allowed to drive on the beaches at all?
Yes. The couple beaches by us, you're not allowed to, but there are a lot of beaches here in Florida that you can. We have not taken the Bronco to any of them yet, but it is on our list to do.
Are you going to one of those Jeep invasions? Are you guys going to go kind of hide in plain sight?
Okay. I want to. And I almost went to this one thing that was here recently, but in the description or in the small print, it says it must be a Jeep. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go to that. Now, I do want to go, and I would love to just get their reactions. But I'm a little afraid, like, they would try to beat me up or something.
Right. The reaction may not be what you want. It's a problem. Coderman, welcome in the chat, man. I'm glad my buddy there, Coderman, got his 2-door. I believe it's a Black
Ah,
Diamond.
I heard
Hardtop.
you
yeah.
guys, man.
Yeah.
What's
Part of the
up?
Dirt Mountain crew. What was y'all's take on all that when they stopped? Like, you guys got yours early, and then suddenly
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, I got my May build date," and then they're like, "Come June, oh, it's not done. Come July, and they're not shipping them." It left in limbo.
Yeah.
It-
Really felt terrible for everyone and still feel terrible. Like,
You almost
I
feel
can't
guilty.
imagine.
You
Yeah.
almost feel guilty if you have a Bronco and others don't, and they've been waiting. I feel guilty. Like, we waited 1 day shy of a year, and I thought that was long enough. And we're going on what, like 15 something months, or I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't do math right now. But I don't know. It's sad, really, that you have to wait this long for a vehicle. But I just feel sorry for all of you guys that are still waiting.
But it is, in the end, it's going to be worth it. I think everybody will forget about the wait the minute that they sit in a Bronco.
Yeah.
It will be worth it.
Yeah,
in
and the
end.
community that comes with it. I mean, we've only met a handful of people that have Broncos, but it's just an instant friendship,
Mhm.
and you just have that common interest, and it's worth it in that aspect too.
Well, by the time you meet them, they're so beat up from waiting that they've got to be the friendliest people ever, or either that or they're the bitterest people ever. Like, there's only two ways that can go. Let's see.
Yeah, we try to get ours out there as much as we can and let people climb in it, check it out, feel it, touch it. I mean, because that's one thing we were missing before we picked
Yeah.
ours up. So
Well, now a lot of dealerships are kind of getting their mannequins and demos and stuff like that, so people can maybe go see one, but I don't think any of the dealerships around here even had a demo yet when we had ours. So when we went to car shows, people were coming up like, "Oh my gosh, we have a reservation on one. I've never seen one." I'm like, "Well, check it out," because it's a little nerve-wracking ordering a vehicle you've never
Yes.
seen in person.
Yes, and especially if you're new to the company, and not that I was new to Ford, but some people are brand new. They pulled a lot of Jeep people to buy these things,
Yeah.
and Jeep guy may not admit that, but there's a lot of Jeep people that are like, "Hey, I want to go try that." So
Right.
yeah, definitely. Sorry. Sometimes I'm reading the chat while I'm trying to talk to you. Sometimes they have their own chats going on in there, so I have to kind of make sure what they're going on with. Let's see. I know my dealership. You were talking those demos. I couldn't tell you if my dealership has ever gotten one. I'm sure they have, but they've never called me.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I've drove enough of these things now, but at the same point, I'm kind of like, it'd be cool if my dealership would call me and say, "Hey, we got our demo in. You want to come, play with it?"
Right.
Oh, what I am
Right.
curious about this. What do y'all think of Ford? It came out about a month ago now that, we're going to offer people up to $1,000 as a sort of thank you. Did your dealership ever offer you any thank yous?
no, and she keeps asking me, "Are you sure they didn't say 200,000 Ford Pass points?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, I see some because we did get early. I mean, we still waited a year. So
Right.
we just got the 20,000 extra Ford Pass points. That's all we ever got, and I called about that. But no, I did see some people that use the same dealership as us. They're getting a free round trip flight for off rodeo in Texas, all expenses paid. We haven't had that. But it is
Yeah.
what it is, and I have a Bronco.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in the end, that's what I wanted. That's what I have.
Right. If there's anything, final question here, is there anything that you would do different from start to finish now?
I don't think so. I think some simple things, upfitter switches I wish I had right now, metal skid plates from the factory I wish I had right now. um, that's really it. I mean, the 2.3 engine is surprising. We've never felt the need for more power, which is great. I've had the 2.7 in an F-150, have a 7.3 now. And the Bronco does not leave us wanting more with a 2.3. It turns the tires just fine. The automatic shifts great.
I don't know
Yeah.
if there's really anything.
I saw one comment asking if there's, one thing we don't like, and I guess it would be the hatch, the locking hatch. But
Right.
other than that, I mean, the Bronco, it's great.
Yeah, and the newness has worn off for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still excited, but when you first get it, that first month, man, you're on cloud nine. You don't stop smiling. You keep
Right.
looking in the garage. Is it real? Is it real? Is it really here? And I mean, I still kind of do that, but at the point that we're in right now, I think I would find things that were annoying, or I would be more accepting of,
Yeah.
okay, maybe this isn't the greatest. But really, I love it. It's been my favorite vehicle I've ever owned. And I'm kind of glad that he had this dream of getting one, because now I get it.
Well, and
I
it,
do let him sometimes, though. I really do.
yeah, and it seemed to like your channel loves Bronco content. But like a lot of channels, my channel, if I post something Bronco, goes through the roof. I posted
Yeah.
a review I did of a Jeep today, and it's like crickets. I'm like, so it's like, oh, let's keep talking Broncos. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've gotten a lot of feedback that people like our channel because it's realistic, I
Mhm.
guess. Like, we're just a regular family. We are not like motorheads. We, don't build vehicles for a living. We're just regular people, and giving our honest opinion and including our kids. And I think that's refreshing for some people. Like, I don't know, just being real life about it. You don't get a lot of that. You get a lot of know-it-alls out there, and we definitely do not know it all. And I think we've made that very clear. But we're learning as during this, and we're just bringing everyone for the ride. But it's really humbling, because honestly, our channel has grown so much. It's been unbelievable for us, and we're very, very grateful and thankful for everyone that comments and likes and watches. Like, we really do appreciate it, and we love it. That's the only reason we keep going at it, because as you know, it is not an easy thing to do. It is very time consuming behind the scenes, and but it makes it all worth it, the community of everything.
It definitely does. Well, guys, I appreciate you being on the show tonight. I feel like I've ran long with you because of all the technical problems we had, and you're Eastern time zone. So I noticed we started losing kids one by one.
Yeah, I think they're really sleeping in bed right now.
And I like the Broncos behind you, or I believe that's a couple Broncos.
Yeah, that was holding us over till we got a real one.
Well,
I think we got a Sam's Club membership just to go buy those.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Costco for me, but yes, but then I started buying Jeeps, and it's a rabbit hole of like buying cars I'd never afford, I guess.
Well, it's cheaper than buying the real thing.
Yes. Well, but I can't drive it. It's the only problem. I guess I can get on the floor and pretend like I used to as a kid.
There you
So
go.
so where can they find you guys? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say one comment about there's a lot of talk right now about the 2.3 liter engine and trail control.
Mhm.
One pedal driving. I believe one pedal driving is the trail control. It's the off-road cruise control.
Mhm.
We do have that, and I think that works the same as one pedal driving, where if you set that at like 2 miles an hour, you can drive with one pedal. I think that's the same thing. I think it's just a different name, but we do have trail control, and we also have trail turn assist with the 2.3.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that answers those
Trail turn
questions.
assist is actually really fun.
It is.
Really fun.
I've heard it's more useful than you would think it would be too.
Yeah, we used it. I mean, obviously to make donuts, but on this last off-road trip, I used it a lot because we were in tight quarters with all these Broncos, and I had to turn around, and I used it, and it was so easy.
Well, so where can they find where's the best social medias to find you guys, and how do they keep up with you past your YouTube channel?
Well, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we have a TikTok that we don't really post, so you probably don't want to follow us there. But Facebook and Instagram, those are big things. You can always email us, pickenspartyof5@gmail.com. And then we also have our website, pickenspartyof5.com, which has the links to all of our social medias, our channels, and events and off-road meetups, because we do try to host an off-road meetup at least once a month. So if you are ever planning to come to Florida or you live in the area, we do have a pretty big Bronco group already, which is exciting.
Well, if mine ever shows up, I'll be down in Florida fairly soon.
Hey.
I've got to go see my my buddies over at Lifestyle and Shadow Wolf. So
Here we go. Yes.
So, oh, and I've noticed one thing. I like that you guys have the Amazon recommendation thing on there. So if you guys anything they're using, they're recommending on there. So go give them a little love that way as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Thank you.
Well, guys, I appreciate you being on, and my faithful viewers, if you'll give me just a second, I'm gonna put us on hold so I can say proper goodbyes, and we'll be right back. Well, there you go, everybody. The Pickens Party of Five, and I want to say special thank you to those guys. You guys asked for it, and we definitely got who you were looking for, and that was a good conversation. It was a lot of fun, and I'm happy to have them on, and happy to get them back on in a few months. We'll see what they're doing with their Broncos. I've got a few things I wanted to get out of the way tonight. Obviously, I talked a little bit about it in the interview there. Did you get your picture? Now, I had known this for quite a while. This was coming. I think back in June or so that I was talking to the individual that was setting all that up. And I didn't want to ruin the surprise. Let's go, Brandon. Hell yeah. We can't say that in Canada, though, Cigar Texan. But I didn't want to ruin the surprise on that. And you guys have seen we posted the Lifestyle Off-Road Bronco that was posted up on our Instagram page. And I was trying to throw some hints out there at what was coming. But and I did have quite a few people reach out to me and it's like, hey, man, can you get me a picture of my Bronco that was built? And I was just like, maybe. We'll see. But I thought that was really cool for today to finally drop that. I know at one point they were trying to do a little short video clip and a picture of your Bronco, but it looks like they're only going to be able to do the pictures right now. But let's go, Brando. But first off, it's about over. But cheers, everybody. There was some kids involved there, so I didn't want to be a rude jerk. And cheers, you guys, with the children there. But what's going on? Oh man, Maker's Mart night tonight, guys and gals and ladies and peoples and theys and thems and whoever watches this. I do appreciate you guys watching the channel. And guys, thank you for all the super chats so far, man. That once again, so you asked, I get a lot of comments when Kelly's on the show about, hey man, I can't hear her. So the last time you guys went crazy with the super chats, I went and got her a nice stand like this. She won't have the fancy mic just yet, but we're budgeting towards that. So thank you guys for funding that. And hopefully maybe next week Kelly will be on again. I have to say, I know this is Bronco night, but if you guys would watch the Jeep video that I put out today, it means a lot to me. It was fun. There's some different things you'll see in that video I don't think you see in normal reviews, some camera angles and weird stuff. And also, it just helps the channel. I want to deal with other manufacturers, and if I can get those those videos watched just a little bit, I would greatly appreciate that. So, let's see what we got going on here tonight. In Peugeot, Cigar Texas. We got all the normals in here tonight. Let's see, where was Coderman? Coderman, dude, I've been digging your Bronco content you're putting out there, man. I love it. I love that two-door Bronco you got, and I'm totally jealous that I had a black diamond on order, and now I've upgraded. But let's see. Mobile says any Bronco update, like for the channel, our Bronco update. I keep looking about once every hour, and I still have no window sticker. but I have not. I better check it. I don't want to run my mouth just yet. Let me check this real quick, because I was going to say I haven't gotten the dreaded. Hey, we're moving your Bronco again. Nope. So far so good. They haven't moved mine yet, but I know some people have, and that's kind of a bummer. Let's see. I will watch it as I actually have a. See what's improved. No problem, man. You guys go over to Coderman's and watch those videos, and maybe we'll get you on the show here soon, Coderman, if you want to come on the live show. Martin S got his window sticker. Nice, man. When's your blend date, Martin? I'm totally jealous of that, by the way. Also, honest. I went honest to know. He sent me this Bronco tag license plate and got it up there. Couple new additions to the back wall. I got my Texas sticker over there. You can't really see it that well. What else we got going on? The GoPro's up there new. I don't know. A bunch of new stuff up there. So thanks for everybody who sends some of these things to throw up on the wall. I do appreciate that. Did I hear about the Everglades edition? I did hear about the Everglades edition, and I think it's going to be cool to see what they do with the snorkel. But they've already, the funny thing about the Everglades edition, there was like, oh, we're going to offer a winch from the factory. And you're like, well, yeah, but you can buy that now. You're going to change the bumper and everything to make it more user-friendly. Let's see. Coderman, just hit me up on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll definitely make that happen. Steven says, how about Bill? Some evil truck. Should put him on your list. Definitely, you guys ever want somebody on these things, in my comments, my Bronco videos, just link them to those, and I'll figure them out. I know a lot of channels, but I don't know that one, so I'll have to definitely check that out. Let's see. What YouTube is not sending out notifications for your videos? Rusty Jeep says. Rusty, like everybody, you got to ring the bell. If you don't ring the bell, they don't like to notify people when I drop videos. So it's kind of a bummer that YouTube forces people to do that. But you got to jump through hoops so they can find your videos. Miles got his window sticker today. What is your blend date, sir? I love it, man. I love all these Broncos we're seeing, and a lot of two-door hardtops, man. I love that Dirt Mountain's slowly just becoming a real dirt mountain and not a Bronco mountain. Do you know Matt's off-road recovery? I do not know Matt's off-road recovery, but once again, link them to us, and whether it be Instagram or whatever, and we'll definitely find them. I was talking to, and I'm hoping they were watching tonight, because let me find it. Because I want to get the show just right. Let's see. The Neon Gladiator, Shocker Racing Garage. I forget what his YouTube actually is, but it's a Jeep channel that bought a. They've got two Broncos. The one I guess was his dad, which is damn near identical to my build, and they're still waiting on theirs, but. I'll try to get them on there, because I'm curious what a Jeep guy's perspective on driving Bronco now. I really would I think you guys would find that super interesting as well, to see that, hey, man, maybe a Jeep guy likes these things, maybe they can go independent front suspension and be okay with it. Yes, congratulations, Miles. I've seen some Big Bens going for $60,000, which is ridiculous. I will say this for my Bronco. The thing that makes me nervous about mine now is not actually getting the Bronco. It's, will my dealership ding me with some of their, what we're hearing dealers do with these upcharges. When I talked to my dealership way back when, I have multiple emails saying, hey, are you sure you're not charging any, added charges? And no, they said, hey, we're just doing MSRP, which I'm fine with. So, and I did reach out to somebody on Bronco 6G. There's a Tennessee Broncos group, and I reached out and I was like, hey, has anybody bought from the local dealership? And they're like, yeah. and they paid 10 days ago, paid MSRP. So I'm feel a little better tonight about that. But definitely still a little nervous. Let's see. Matt is good too. Let's see. Oh, 515 cigar says, yeah, I would talk to the couple. They are an interesting group, and they got like 3 Broncos now, and I have no Broncos. It makes me kind of sad. Let's see. What else? There was something else I wanted to talk to y'all about tonight. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what it was. Let me pull this up here. And let me see what I wrote down there. Pictures. YouTube. I guess I nailed those topics. Man, I got my 4 down likes. I've got some haters. I love it. They've I have a feeling I know the one particular channel that has 4 accounts that keep dinging my live streams with 4. But hey, when you down like the channel, it still makes YouTube go, oh, you're interested. So any support is good support, I guess. Barton S says, I heard if you are a reservation holder, they can only charge MSRP. Sadly, no, Martin. There's many reservation holders who went to pick up their Broncos and found out there was a $10,000 to $15,000 upcharge. There was a YouTube channel in Pennsylvania, something P-Berg or something's the name of his channel. And he used to work for the dealership and got nailed with a $10,000 upcharge. I think they ended up settling after the social media got a hold of this dealership. But yeah, they will do it to reservation holders. Does the dealership have a YouTube channel? Paul asked. I do not know if they do or not, Paul. It's local to Middle Tennessee. I'll say that. So if you know where I live, you'll be able to figure that one out. David, I'm going to change my mind about the Big Ben. Uh-oh. Steven's going to change my mind about the Big Ben. Bring it, dude. I'm happy to debate these things. And remember, when I don't like certain things, it has something to do with that I'm in the industry and I cover the industry. So I look at things through rose-colored glasses versus your, maybe peach-colored glasses. And so that's what, if I say sometimes when I say, I don't see why they do this, it might be for those reasons. Let's see. Peugeot says, so Dave, what do you think about putting a True Track LSD in OBX M190 front axle? I don't know. I hate to say anything about adding anything to these axles because there's not enough info on these things out there right now. There's always the old lunchbox style or, lockers. Laka usually does something for front lockers. It's kind of a ratcheting locker. It's always on though. That's the one big appeal for me was with the Sasquatch package, getting front and rear lockers. That's kind of one of the appeals was you can actually turn it off. And so that's why I opted to spend the money. Coderman says, my Bronco had a $5,000 ADMA sticker, but when I asked, they said, all incoming, get it, but I didn't pay it. Silly games. Yes, the problem is dealerships kind of have you by the balls a little bit, or whatever the female equivalent to balls are. They know it's the hottest vehicle out there. They know now we've all been waiting, 15 months? So people are foaming at the mouth. Like they've been waiting for their Broncos, and they kind of have you where they want you with that. Me and Kelly's already made a plan. I'll be honest. We talked about it last night that if my dealership were to go, hey, 20 grand, that I will have to reorder with a different dealership, and there'll be probably a Nissan Frontier Pro 4X in the driveway to play with for a few months till I could get a Bronco. Because I'm not channel's not big enough to kind of offset the cost of that. It would be for that. So, Martin S says on Bronco 6G frustration on waiting for their Broncos might have moved to getting a Land Rover Defender. Defenders are cool, but it's a Land Rover, and there's going to be problems. I mean, you look at TFL, all the problems they had with that little 4-cylinder they bought. And that, I referenced them because they're fairly popular on YouTube, but it's not uncommon, the problems they had. I think even Doug DeMuro's had a little bit of hiccups with his. Yes, I do like George Lopez, or I probably said it wrong, Paul, but yes, I do like that guy from Texas. His videos early on in the ordering process was very, very helpful. I would definitely have him on. Mobile says True Track is a lunchbox. I guess I'm mixing up the True Track with like what Toyota does on that mobile. Where they do what Toyota calls a True Track is it's kind of the ABS acting like a locker. Let's see. Defenders are expensive to buy and expensive to repair. Well, I don't know what they're overcharging for them right now, but I know when I was at the Chicago Auto Show looking at one, I think $60,000 would get you a Defender. Fairly for Jorge Lopez. There we go. But yeah, what are you getting? And I'll be honest, there's no way in the world that I would take the new Land Rovers out for off-roading. I mean, if you want to go on fire roads or whatever, service roads, and feel like you're off-roading, that's fine. But for me, there's no way that I would want that vehicle to do that. And that's, I've got a 4Runner video coming up where we test drove the new 22 4Runner. That's kind of one of the last dinosaurs of the big SUVs like that I would want to off-road. A lot of these, I don't know. Jay says, Dave, why like the 22 Chevy ZR2? I like the ZR2. I just think it's not enough. Jay, you drive the Raptor, which that's another video you guys clearly didn't watch. But after driving the Raptor or the TRX, I'm telling you, there's no way that's enough. And GM is a cluster F of a company right now. They don't know whether they want to be green, build trucks, or whatever, and they've allowed Ram to take second place in the truck sales. So E-Track, there you go, True Car. Yeah, I apologize. I mixed them all up. Not enough booze. But there you go. See, I don't know everything, guys. And like Pickens Party 5, I can admit that I don't know everything. The new pricing, I know a lot of people have went and reordered their Broncos. How did that go for everybody if you've had to do that? I know nothing for me just yet. Once again, I've got a build week of 10/25 and no emails saying that I won't have it yet. One of our viewers here has the I think 6 or 7 he's been pushed back now. So yeah, so hopefully mine gets built. Let's see. Too much ice, more makers. Oh man. So I have to apologize too for why the show was late tonight. We were having a lot of audio problems, like for you guys to be able to hear them talk. So I do apologize about that. Let's see. Dave, did you check out Enyo's Grenadier yet? I remember you asking that the last time. Let me look at that real quick, because I'm gonna forget it again. There it is. Because I want to look at this thing real quick, because I'm seeing it. Huh? I have not seen that. Looks like a clone of a Defender. All right, I'm leaving that up, and I will definitely look at that later. Been 5 days, no confirmation or the reorder yet. You guys are crazy. Honest, I will tell Kelly, she was running late tonight with her normal 9 to 5. Oh man, dude, Cigar, you were in that mix of that just perfect storm of the Bronco. Because what was it, August? It was a small window that they were having those airbag problems. M Show says, by the way, the Sasquatch was $5K. The Torsen True Track is about $1,000 to $1,500 to install for me. Yeah, but what are the wheels and tires going to cost you? What are five? Whatever 35-inch tires you put on there, you're at what, $1,500 there. So that's $3,000 that you're already in with that. And if you wanted the beadlock capable wheels, at what, let's say at minimum another $500 to $600 at minimum for the wheels, you're getting close. So, but part of the fun of some of these vehicles is doing it yourself too, and having a blast like modding them. Let's see, CT. Cigar, I know you were going to tell Jorge about us. Let's see. Yes, that is a pretty dumb name for that vehicle. And I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it just looks like a clone of a Defender. I mean, the inside looks pretty freaking awesome, I ain't going to lie. A lot of switches. A cool removable glass too, though. Not getting beadlocks. Yeah, I'm not opting in Peugeot. I'm not going for the beadlocks either. I think Jeep did that with their I can't even think of what they call their edition now with 35s. Beadlock capables, and I'm not spinning for the rings to do that. I think unless it's just a strictly trail rig, beadlocks are just, I'm not airing down to 5 pounds of pressure. So I usually air down to about 17 to 18, depending on where I'm at, and that's more than I need. Let's see, Coderman, you think you'll get a review of the new Hummer? Eventually. I have no good contacts at GM. Building some good relationships with Ford, Toyota, and a few of the other brands, Ram and Jeep. But GM is a weird one, especially with the Hummer, because, it took a long time for TFL and those guys to be able to get near one. They're going with those EVs. If you look at any of the reviews now, they're going strictly at these tech guys who know nothing really about cars. But EV vehicles are like buying a new computer. They're not like buying and experiencing a car anymore. So good point. Yeah. And the electric locker, dude, I'm telling you, it was worth it for me. The older I get, though, the less I want to be in my garage adding things like that. So, and you get around gearing and stuff too. I am iffy gearing. I can rebuild a motor. I wouldn't say the modern motors I would be excited by doing it, but I hate gearing. Getting anywhere, opening up a diff, and I'm like, I'm out. The G-Wagon in Land Rover, yeah, that does sound right. Cigar Texan, $25,000 into that Bronco after you get it. Dang. I will say this, the Canoe, I'm pretty close to putting a reservation down for the new Canoe. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. I've talked to it a little bit on the normal live shows. YouTube is becoming like mainstream media. Yeah, I will say that. But I will say also, Rusty, that some of the YouTube's also watered down a lot of things, and there was a few trusted channels for like Bronco, and I'd like to think this channel was a part of those. But now that people are getting Broncos and everybody thinks they're a YouTuber and everybody thinks they can do this, that it's getting really watered down with the info you're getting. Like seriously, I know it sounds arrogant of me, but I knew that these pictures were coming. I just didn't know exact date, but I knew they were taking their pictures of every Bronco going across that line. And so I've worked hard to get a lot of good contacts over the years. Let's see. Yes, I do not want to tear down a 2.7, but it seems like a few people have been tearing those down. What was it? The rockers are going bad in them, if I remember right. They've had a few of those. Let's see. I know there's been a slew of those, guys. If you have not yet, if you will, I know we're winding down here, so I see the viewership's winding down. If you haven't yet, smash the like button. It does help the channel quite a bit. Bring your last call. Let's wind this one down and bring your questions or comments. And thanks for everybody coming in tonight, man. I greatly appreciate that. Hopefully you guys like the interviews. I'm trying to go out of my way to find these Bronco specific interviews that we can do. And I do want to find more. There's other channels out there. Some of these it's weird. It's like high school. There's clicks. And some of these other channels, they're clicky and they don't want to talk to you. So I'd reach out to a bunch of people though. Speaking of clickbait, there was a clickbait and a half video on Bronco 6G where the guy was like in Moab and he had a white Badlands. And he was like, and the title of the video is "I broke my whatever." And then people were giving this poor guy such hell that he changed the title in the forum to "I broke in my Bronco." But I remember I watched the video yesterday and was just like, cool, where's he break it? Looks like he knew what he's doing driving. I was very impressed with his driving, but I was also like, you never broke anything. Like, with YouTube, there's a fine line of clickbait versus douchebag. And I hate to say it because you want new people to jump into your videos, but that was borderline. Let's see. Make it badass, dude. Cigar, you gonna go 37s? The Brady Bunch of YouTube times. Oh, man. Need to get Danny back on the show. He was in here earlier. Danny's been busy. I know he's working on his race truck right now. Payment ends. Peace. Let's see. Yeah, I saw it too. Good point in calling it clickbait. You know, that was like, I get it. He's a new channel. He only had like 20 subs. Trying to find a way to break into this, but the way I've done 2 channels is just grind. You got to grind with YouTube and be consistent. And if anybody here ever wants to help with their YouTube channel, I've helped a few channels. I had help. I greatly will gladly give any information privately to you. Help you do it. Let's see, 35s, 2-inch lift. I ordered some door bags from old Mitchell at TC Customs. And then I found out I only ordered the front doors. I didn't get the rear doors. So I need to talk to old Mitch and say, hey man, we need to fix your website a little bit. After it was brought to me, I think Connor, I forget his guy, who is his guy over there? He emailed with, but I didn't let them know I was buying anything. I just randomly bought some stuff from them. And let's see. I don't know what email I used. Where are you at? Where is that at? Colton. But they made me a nice offer today for some parts, and I turned them down. We'll worry about that when I actually get my my Bronco. And man, I've seen a lot of these YouTube channels starting up looking for free parts too. And guys, if you want to do this, I will gladly help anybody get going with it, but don't do it thinking free parts. I do not go out of my way to ask for anything. I've had companies want to work with me over the past 10 years, but they usually come to me. I'm not begging for parts. But I do greatly appreciate that company wanting to show me a little love. Let's see, Matt. There's Matt. Did you get the garage bags or the store and cargo bags? The garage bags I remember right, is what I ordered. And TC Customs, they're shipping the fronts, so but they were separate. It was weird. It was like $219 for the front bags and I guess $2 something for the rears. But the way they wrote their description up, it looked like it was 4-door, and I saw bags 4-door, hit order. And then after Colton hit me up, it's like, hey, Mitchell wanted to know, did you want, which Bronco are you getting? And I let him know, and he was like, did you only mean to order the front doors? And I was like, damn it. So, but definitely I want the bags for these things. The Jeep doors are kind of easy to grab off of the truck because you have the window frame. So I usually just grab up here and grab the door handle and can take them off fairly easily. These look a little more daunting, and I don't want to screw anything up. And I've seen a few people. There's the guy with the he's building the throwback Bronco. I modeled after Jay Leno's. I can't think of what name of his channel is. Something Budget Bronco, something like that. Which I would like to actually talk to him. But maybe it was him that I seen post up a way to store their doors, making a plastic PVC pipes where you can set your doors in. Really, really cool. Let's see. Hey, Joe, what day did you order, by the way? Curious. Well, there was a lot of people who dropped their doors. That's for damn sure. Well, you guys are going crazy over there. Your own conversations. Coderman says door bags are a must. Also, if you move them around in the garage easier. Yeah, my doors, I definitely store them in the garage. That's the cool thing about these doors is they're not as tall. So, like, Jeep doors are a pain in the butt if you just want to quickly. Like, I have some of that mat for, I have a workout area in my garage and that soft rubber stuff that you put down. It's nice to set the doors on that, but it's just like they're a pain in the butt to deal with. 54021. You'll get there, man. Definitely get there. Ford not sending Canadians assembly line pictures or emails. They might, Mike. Give them a minute. You know, I will say this. Ford sent those pictures out, and I seen people fussing about them. I was like, how do you fuss about Ford sending pictures out? Well, I have had my Bronco for 3 months, and they're just now sending me pictures. You're like, Jesus, man. Poor company can't win. Are you going to pick up a town? Are you going to Town and Country or picking the door sleeves? No, Paul. They're going to ship those to me. I did privately talk to Mitchell. As soon as I get my Bronco, I'm definitely going down there. I want to go see their area. I want to experience. I like talking to people, obviously, and interviewing them, but I don't like to just recommend people unless I've gone to their place and like firsthand. Like, that's why I didn't try to get any kind of deals from these guys. I just randomly ordered, and I want to see how the process goes for just like if it was you ordering them or whoever ordering them. I want to be treated like that customer, and I'm an all-in kind of guy, man. If you treat me right without knowing it's me, I'm going to like, I don't need your sponsorship to recommend your company. And, you know, if you're nice to me, you're going to be nice to everybody else. Haven't even received an email. That's crazy. Well, final questions, guys. Final questions. You know the drill. It was a good Maker Smart night. Let's see. Dealership called me today telling me mine will be ready for pickup next week for sure. Dude, that Panzer, that is freaking awesome, man. That is freaking awesome, dude. Link me if you're on Instagram and get pictures. Link me to them, man. I want to see it. Mike Mack says, being a Ford family, I've been waiting for the Ultimate Surf casting SUV Black Diamond 4-door it is. Dave, you don't understand. None of the military auto sales program people get Ford emails or swag or anything. Well, that's kind of a bummer. Damn it. That sucks. Well, hey, Ford, step it up. There you go. All right, guys. I don't see any other questions. We've done 2 hours and 6 minutes here, plus the other 20 minutes of me scrambling trying to get this damn thing to work right. And there you go. Let's see. I've been helping others get window stickers and other information to deal with the BS military auto sales program. That sucks, man. That really sucks. And speaking of which, let's do this before I close out the bar. Which that's what we just need to call this, the bar. And we're just hanging out chatting. Let me go through, and I want to search while I've got y'all on here one last time. Look for my Badlands email. Damn it. All right. You can see it says, that's the window stickery thing. It says check back later. Let's make sure I did that right, though. Still says check back later. Well, there you go, guys. Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you know the drill. It does not matter what you drive. Thank you, guys, for all the nice comments. Thank you for Pickens Party of 5 for being on here tonight. That was a fun conversation, and I can't wait to talk to those guys again. Does not matter what you drive because this has been your All-Terrain Nation. It's Bronco Night, baby, here on the channel. Peace, everybody. Love y'all. See y'all YouTube